Hello, everybody. Welcome to Brunch with Bigfoot, Michigan Rob. Of course, I am your host, BMR. With me in Studio B, the lovely KRISTA from the Blondes and Booze Paranormal Podcast. Thanks for coming on in. We have Les Durrant, Objects and Orbs. That's his YouTube channel. Fascinating show. We're going to cover UFOs, paranormal, ghosts, maybe touch on a little Bigfoot. Les brings it all. He's well-traveled. If this is your first time here, please subscribe to Bigfoot Michigan Rob on YouTube. Give a thumbs up. Make sure the alert bell's turned on and share the show out. Once again, you can find us on YouTube, Bigfoot Michigan Rob, the Blondes and Booze Paranormal Podcast, Texas Front Porch. Check out those great shows. We're also on Subspace Radio, iHeartRadio, Spreaker Radio, wherever podcasts are found. You can also find us on KPNL Radio. Thank you to the lovely Selene in Texas, now in Texas. You can also find us on Facebook. All the links are in our About pages on our channel. Don't forget to subscribe. If you like our content and you want to help support the show, the super chat is open. That's a great way to help support what we do around here. I do appreciate that. And thank you in advance. Once again, check out our channels. And speaking of our channels, we got a great lineup across all our channels. Of course, on Texas Front Porch YouTube channel. Mondays, you can find Tex at 9 o'clock in the East along with Brandy. Tuesdays on the Van Beer and Variety channel, Bobby, 8 o'clock in the East. Right back here with Bigfoot Rob, Beyond BMR, 9 o'clock in the East. Wednesdays, Jason's back doing his live show. Jason's on Wednesdays, 8 o'clock in the East. Jason McLean questions everything. Danielle Diva, 10 in the East, 9 in the East, unclear. The Diva Dimension, Wednesdays. Thursdays, right back here, Brunch with Bigfoot, Michigan Rob, 1 o'clock in the East. The Blondes, the Booze Paranormal Podcast, they come on at 9 in the East. If you need a little more woo with the booze, you got the Blondes and the Booze and the Woo Friday nights at 9. Saturday, text us something called Infamous Minds with Miss Diva. You can find text 3 in the East on Saturday. And of course, don't forget my lovely friend Jessica Jones, Spaced Out Radio, Saturday and Sunday in the East at 10. And she is, of course, the Cryptid Huntress. Go check her on out. With that being said, I'm going to bring up my co-host back in Studio B. Hello, KRISTA.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing fabulous. You know, I'm really excited. And yes, number one, I am excited to have Les on our show. It's going to be a fantastic show because Les he knows a lot about everything from what I found. His YouTube channel will be posting the links, Objects and Orbs. And he's got a few other things that he does. And we're going to get into everything a little bit with Les. But you know, I'm also excited. I sent you and Brandy a text because tonight, it's Thursday night football. I got my Detroit Lions gear on already.
Yeah.
We opened the season in Kansas City. Where you hail. Well, you hail from Missouri.
That's right.
And your Chiefs are playing my Lions, so I put out a little wager to KRISTA and Brandy. They're yet to respond because I think they're trying to figure out what exactly. We got to figure out what we're going to put on this. It don't really have to be money. It could be something, we got to figure it out. The kickoff's at 8 o'clock. I'm already geeked right now, and this is supposed to be a big year for my Lions. The last time we were in the playoffs was 1991. We have big expectations for the season, and I am pumped up.
I bet you are.
Yes, I am. But again, though, I'm taking a breath. I know I got 8 more hours to wait, or no, 7 hours and 22 minutes because I have the countdown on my TV. I'm looking at it right now.
Which means you won't be in our Blondes and Booze chat this evening.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, well, I'll have my phone on me. I'll give you the view. I'll say, Krista, we're up 21-zip already at halftime.
Yeah, well, that would be the other way around, but please keep it updated.
Yeah, the Bears. Yeah, what a Gerald. Gerald, just leave the show. Don't watch. I'll get out of here. My good buddy, Midwest Night Watchers, is a Bears fan because he hails from Illinois. Him and Chiro.
Yep.
Good old Jane out there, but they're friends nonetheless, despite their enemy territory. But as excited as I am about tonight's game, I'm very excited to have Les on because I was watching his YouTube channel. I seen him on. In fact, he was on Midwest Night Watchers not too long ago. But this guy, he's got some great captures. He's seen UFOs, he's seen orbs, he's seen ghosts, he's into the paranormal, and he's even got some Bigfoot structures. So this is going to be a jam-packed show, and I'm quite excited. And I'm going to bring up Les right now. Make sure he's got the hair primped. He's got those special specs on. In fact, they are Lions specs. They match the Lions gear.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, man, how you doing?
I've gotten so many comments on these glasses, and you know where I got them? I got them at the $1.50 store. Or the $1.25 store. That's what it is. The Dollar Tree.
It's no longer the dollar store.
I know.
What's up with the dollar store? The other day I bought 6 items expecting to pay $6, and they said it was $7.75.
Yeah,
it doesn't add up.
But it's like $1 now.
They last forever. I mean, they last a long time. So anyway, how you doing? It's good talking to you.
Well, I'm doing fantastic. As you can already tell, I'm geeked. And Krista's doing, well, I won't speak for Krista, but she was having a technical issue earlier. And so Krista, I guess you're doing okay as well, right?
Yep, I'm good. I'm really good. I'm rested from this weekend and ready to roll.
Yeah, I'm ready to roll. Again, it's going to be a great weekend for me. And you guys just came off of the conference.
Yep.
I'm not going to talk about it because I just wish I was there. I wish I was there.
You were missed. You were
missed, and I've seen all the fabulous pictures on Facebook, and all I can say is you guys had a great time, but I am happy for you. And Tex did a great job from what I understand with his
Tex did a fantastic job on his presentation. He sure did.
So it was fabulous. Hey, Jessica Jones. Jessica and I got something cool planned for end of October, and I'm not going to give the details just yet.
Ooh,
yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So Les. So Les, man, why don't you walk us through? Again, I said a bunch of different things. You investigated a bunch of different things. Why don't we first start?
Okay.
With how you got involved in all this madness.
Yeah. Well, actually, it was sort of it was kind of by accident. I was married for 23 years and lost my wife due to diabetes, and and she had dementia and a lot of different things going on with her. And she, I was at this radio station and I was the only one there, and I kept seeing these shadow figures going by, and I didn't really know kind of what they were at the time. I had a suspicion that it could have been my ex, even though, I could feel that, you know what I'm saying? It was just kind of that feeling that, okay, maybe she's still there. Well, okay, fast forward just a little bit. And then my wife, who I'm married to now, Claudette, she is up in Idaho. She was up in Idaho, and she was coming down to Texas. And I told her what happened. I said, hey, I have been having these shadow figures coming by, and I don't know exactly what they are. And she said, oh, I'm a ghost hunter. I'm like, oh, well, how do you do that? She said, I just use my phone. I'm like, how do you use your phone? Well, she just, she said, I just have these old phones and I just use the audio recorders on them. And so, fast forward again, we decided to go to a haunted house here in Georgia in Morganton. And it's, we got a bunch of orbs there and everything. It was just really incredible. And then I had prayed to see more than I was seeing at the time. I was like, if I can see orbs, then shoot, I'd like to be able to see something else. So at the time I was living in Arkansas. And so I said, you know what? Hey, I'm going to put my camera up in the sky, or I'm going to put my camera out so I can maybe get some pictures, some video, just to see if I can maybe get some clouds or something, maybe a plane or something. So I had this old this little stand right here, and this is just one of those things that you put a little antenna, for your TV, kind of move that around a little bit. Well, what I did is I just kind of tore it up and put some Velcro on here, and then put my phone just like that. And all my phones have Velcro on the back. And then I just kind of aim it up to the sky. And the cool thing about this is you can leave it outside. It's not a big deal because if it's an old phone, it doesn't matter, right?
Right.
Then what you do is you just do that. You just bring up your camera. Let me see if I can kind of get the camera like that. And for those who can't see, it's basically what you do is you just turn on your camera. And then if you want to get orbs, here's what you do. You're going to turn the flash on where it says torch. It'll say torch on there. And let's see if is there anybody who can fly past this light? Oh, you see? Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. Just like that. Very simple. Now, is that dust? I don't know. I don't see any dust here. Hold on. Let's see. No, not really. Now, if you want to see dust, this is dust from Texas. This is from a Texas dust storm right here. So, yeah. So, and also, yeah, no. Yeah, no. Okay. So, yeah, so that's how you get orbs. And I'm going to state right away, I've got ADHD, so I may be all over the place. Just to let you know about that. Okay. So now,
well, that's not uncommon because everybody's. I'm always all over the place, and so is Krista. So that's why that's why people love us for that.
There you go. So I went back to Arkansas and I put my phone up and aimed it up to the sky. Thank you. It's good to see Marty. Hey, Marty on there. And everybody else that's on here too. Just want to say hi. I put it on there and was playing it back, and I saw some clouds. Saw some birds, saw some bugs, and I saw a C-130 flying. Now, and you said that I can't show anything on here, right? As far as
I can't do no videos.
Video, okay.
Copyright strikes, but
yeah, not a big deal, not a problem because we'll what we'll do over here is we'll get some of this going on back here. This will really add to the show. But the playback. What I did is I just took the video from the phone and just plugged my USB cord into it, plugged it into the computer. Then I run it through a free program called SM Player, and I only use free software. So I'm not here to sell anything or anything like that. Run that through, and I saw the plane going by, and then I saw a little white dot that was kind of like following it. And so I was able to pause it, stop it, and zoom in. And that's when I saw some stuff I'd never really seen before following a C-130 aircraft. And I went back in the video and I was finding other things as well. I mean, all kinds of different things flying around. So what I did is I contacted MUFON. And I said, hey, I've got these UFOs, or I think they're UFOs. What do you think? So they came to my house, and they were there for about 2 hours. And I showed them the process of how I do it, just going through the computer and all of that. And it ended up being an unknown from MUFON. And so now I actually have three unknowns. But my very first one was a MUFON unknown. And I took it down to Little Rock Air Force Base, and I put it on a little thumb drive, and I said, all right, this is what I'm going to do. I put all my information, how I got it, all that. I wasn't trying to hide anything or anything like that. So I contacted the Air Force Public Affairs Office, and I said, I've got videos of some objects following your planes. Would you like to see pictures? And they said, yes, we would like to. I showed them the pictures, and they said, yes, we would like to see more. I said, all right, well, thank you. I said, the rest of my files are really big. I can't email them. They're like, 4 gigs big, which is like, the size of a DVD. I mean, it's pretty big. So I can't just email it. I said, I could drop a thumb drive down at the gate if that'd be okay. And they said, yeah. So I went down to the gate, showed them some pictures, and I said, yeah, I'm the guy who called about the UFOs. And they kind of laughed a little bit. until they saw my pictures. And I said, yes, guys, here's what I want you to do. I want you to contact your public affairs office and let them know that Mr. Durrant is here and see what they have to say. So they said, yeah. They actually asked me to go outside, and I was in the visitor center at the Air Force Base. They asked me to go outside in the car. So I sat out there and they said, yes, Mr. Durrant, we do want your thumb drive. I'm like, all right, here you go. Enjoy. So they had that. So that was great. And I just kept doing that and just kept recording and recording. I ended up getting, like I said, 2 more unknowns. Thanks for the link. 2 more unknowns. And then I started getting my information out to Facebook, just posting my pictures just to see what would happen. And then I started joining different groups and also posting my pictures. And then it just became a whirlwind as far as things starting to happen. I
have a quick question.
Yes.
Did after you had dropped your thumb drive off with the Air Force, did you ever hear from them again?
No.
No.
And I'll have a quick follow up. And actually, it's not my question. It was
Okay.
Somebody in chat. No, I'm sorry. Something about stealing the data. I think somebody has. I hope. Oh, nickname says. Oh man, I hope they didn't steal your data.
No.
Okay.
No, not at all. Because all of the files that I give out, I'm not selling. My stuff is I give it away. I give it out. Now, if you're going to claim something that's yours, but it's actually mine, that's a whole nother story. But I have links that go to my Google Drive. You can go to my Google Drive if you want to download that entire 4 gig 30-minute video that I did, the very first one. It's up there. You want to watch it on YouTube? It's Cersei. It's called UFO over Cersei, Arkansas. Hey, you can watch the whole one. So with that, that's kind of the thing. I don't I don't mind if people use my stuff as long as they attribute,
I got you.
like, and it's not like I have 1 sighting or 2 sightings. I have probably about 30. So it's not like there's any one special one. I mean, there are some very good ones that I have.
And your sightings are right out your backyard. You go to a specific. I might have missed it earlier. Is it out of your yard, or do you have a specific spot where you go stargaze?
No, I just go out on our deck out front. We have a little porch right out front. Now I got to tell you where I live. I live about 5 miles from North Carolina and 5 miles from Tennessee. So we live up in what they call the tri-state, and it's right on the border, and it's about 1,900 feet up, and we're surrounded by trees and dirt roads. So the only way you can climb up here is if you have a good 4-wheeler or a car with front wheel drive. It's not paved or anything like that. So people don't just come up here to see me. And where I'm located, I've got to use my 3x zoom or my 10x zoom on my phone to be able to catch some of the really good stuff like that. But we go out every night. Me and my wife go out every night, and we just ask for them to come, and they do. It's just that simple. Just that simple. We use telepathy. We use vocal, what I would call just vocal manifestation.
Yeah. I was going to ask really quick, when you ask them to come, do they relate a message to you, or they just appear? They
just appear. If you look at my latest YouTube video, there's one on there that's like 2 minutes long. That's the full video. It basically, I just sit there and say, hey, hello, my name is Les Durrant. I know you're here. I'd like to be able to see you. And I know that you can fly by. And can you fly by and show yourself? And just within 30 seconds after I did that, one flies by. And the whole thing before it does that is 1 minute long. So I tell people, hey, if you could watch my video for 1 minute and let me know what you think let me know what you think about it. Yeah. And it's just that easy. And if you watch my other videos, you'll hear my wife even saying, "Hey, there's another one. Oh, there's another one. Look at that one. Look at that one." And I'm here like, "Hey, let me catch this one first." It's just like that. And the way that I can tell if it's a plane or not, I use Flight 24, and I can just pull it up on my phone. It's very, very easy to do. You just pull it up, and I can kind of tell where they're at on here and say, "Oh yeah, that one's flying from Atlanta to New York, or this is going from Atlanta to Cleveland or wherever." But they what they'll do is they'll kind of go in a V formation around me. So it's very rare that they fly over in a east to west way. But if they come from North Carolina and they go to Chattanooga or something like that, yes. The other thing that I tell people is that when you look at my UFO videos, remember that any planes that fly anywhere from around here, by the time they fly from Atlanta or North Carolina, that they're already 30,000 feet up. They're already that high. And the way that I know that is on Flight 24. It'll tell me exactly how high they are and where they are. Now, I do have a video of a triangle that flew over in January. And
you kind of read my mind, because I asked, most of your images you've captured are mostly like different lights, right? With different shaped lights, but you've never seen like I was going to ask if you've seen like a triangle or a saucer, something closer than 30,000 feet in the air.
Yes. Yes. And that video on YouTube is, you can see how close they are. And it was also a foggy night as well. So they are literally probably only about 2,000 feet up. And you can hear it. You can hear it.
Yeah. I was going to say the thing too, you mentioned, and another way you can tell it's not an aircraft is planes have red lights, and I had a UFO, I've seen similar to what you're describing, and regular planes don't come out of other planes, and they don't
right.
And things like that. You can definitely tell, even if it is 30,000 feet up there, that it is not an airplane.
Right, exactly. And the way that it looks, I've been kind of trying to figure out a way to describe it, but I'm gonna flip over this mouse pad, and if you can imagine a little white pearl, just sitting here along the sky. Now, see how there's kind of dots and stuff on it. I mean, I know your listeners can't see it, but these could be little stars, right? And so the way the UFO looks, it looks like a little pearl just going across the sky, just like this, just like that, just like that. And you can't hear it. You can just see it. The other night, we actually saw two of them together, and they were kind of floating along like this, along the tree line. And, I've seen so many now that I dedicate them to people. If I can get a good video, like, hey, I'm going to dedicate this one to my mom, and hey, I'm going to dedicate this one to this person. And yeah, the way that I learned how to do this is going to be kind of high end, but y'all, since we're all kind of in the same field, if I say, hey, I'm going to tell you this, a benevolent reptilian told me how to contact him. And so he said the best way to do that is with telepathy. And just in your mind, you just do kind of what I said, just ask them to come. And also, if you can even ask them, vocally, hey, can you fly by? We'd like to be able to see you, and do it just like that. Say, we're friendly, and this is where we are.
What you're describing, what you're doing is like CE5.
Exactly. Right. It's not as in depth as they get, with a lot of some of the different things are as deep, or,
Sure.
The way that we do it, we just walk outside, sit down and say, hey, show yourself, if you can, that'd be kind of cool. And when they do, thank them, same thing with the ghost. Thank them.
I find it amazing because, with all the shows I've done along with KRISTA and a couple other things we've done, I really find it amazing that there's many people that can do, like you're saying, you can just ask for something to show up, like a
Mhm.
UFO or perhaps even a cryptid in the forest. But there's so many people that cannot, right? There are people that have been searching for UFOs, aliens, and Bigfoot for 20 years and haven't even come up with anything. Why do you
Right.
think there's certain people, Les, can, I don't want to use the word conjure up, but
Right.
it is, right?
They're trying. I feel they're trying too hard. You ever notice how when you're looking for love and and then all of a
No,
sudden, hey,
looking out around place. Yeah.
yep, right. And it just shows up without you kind of expecting it. That's kind of what it is. It's just one of those things. So I've been told that you have to just kind of clear your mind out, get rid of all those daily things, and keep looking up. That's the main thing. Just keep
And
looking up.
also, I don't believe, because this was me, I don't believe they know exactly what they're looking for, because, before I saw what I saw, I was looking for, this triangle thing, just a few hundred feet above the sky. That's not what
Right.
I saw,
Right. You have to exactly. You have to become familiar with your surroundings. When I walk outside, I can see what I look at every day on my computer. I can see it. I can see my theater above my head. I can see this part of the sky. I can see this part of the sky over here and that part of the sky over there. So when I walk out, even at 4:45 in the morning or 5 in the morning, I've seen objects. I've seen objects at my house. I've even seen objects at my work. They're just like, ooh. And so I think, and I'm going to say this way, I'm going to say, sometimes I think that they're waiting for me. Here's why, is because my wife has actually seen them wait for me. I'm like, hey, I got to go get my camera. And she's like, hey, that one waited for you. And then it went. I'm like, okay, yeah. And it's just like that. You just have to be very sure of yourself, but also relax a little bit. When we go out there, hey, we're just sitting out here in the chairs like this. We're just hanging out, but our heads are like this. Our heads are up in the sky. We're always looking around because we know the sky. It's just like, your house, the back of your hand. Why? Because you see it all the time. People don't look up at the sky. Why? Because they're like this all day. This is all they do all day long. And this, I'm describing people with phones in their face. See, get that phone out of your face. Look up for 10 seconds. Count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's good for a little stretch, but it's can you imagine if everybody did that and then at least one person out of 200 or 100 saw something, and then now they're wanting, hey, I just saw something cool. Yeah. That's the idea. And that's my gig, is to say, hey, if you see something, tell people about it. There's a big stigma about looking for UFOs. Yes. Oh, I would love to do an outside live sky watch. Yes, I'm working on getting a new computer, a gamer computer. So I'm going to do some really good video, but I'm going to try to set up my camera outside on the deck. That'd be kind of cool.
Very cool.
Just sit out there and do that.
Do you ever use lasers?
Yes. Now I'm gonna step over here just real quick. Hold on, let me grab my laser. Okay. I've got a really good one. Now here is the other thing. That the times that I've used it, in my mind, I feel like there's something just not right with this. Just like, I don't know. I just don't think so. And this friend of mine gave me this really nice laser. It was only like $8, but look at how strong this thing is. Now watch this. Or you can explain that. Ooh, yeah. So this is a very beautiful green laser. It is a very extremely strong laser.
So you fire that up right into the sky.
Well, I can hit the moon with this. Yes, I sure can. And I can
gotta
also,
you gotta make sure there's no planes in the area, right? You don't want to blind the pilot.
oh no, yeah, oh no, I know. Yeah, I'm very familiar with my
Federal
plane.
offense, Rob.
How
Yeah,
what?
you
Yeah,
gotta
no,
make sure it's not a plane.
Yeah.
yeah, no, I'm a very, and I could, that's why I also feel kind of weird. I always make sure not to do it whenever there's no planes out there, of course,
Right.
but
Yeah.
I don't like using it because if you've ever messed around with a laser and accidentally maybe got it in your eye or something like that, that's no fun.
No.
Right? Yeah, it's a federal offense. See, there you go.
Yep.
Yeah. I've used it one time. I do have a video. I have a very quick one frame where an object did show up just like that. But no, I don't like using it. The only time that I do use it is if I hear something crazy going on here in the mountain. I mean, we have a bunch of different people and different parties going on. People like shooting their guns and stuff, and that's all cute. But if they get anything around my house, then that's when I turn on my laser, and they're like, "Oh, turn it off really quick." And then can you imagine seeing that in the sky and all that beautifulness going, wee? No. So hopefully that'll answer the question about the laser. Yeah, I have also had people tell me that they don't like it either. And so when you get that in your head, you say, well, I'm not feeling right. And you know that I'm not feeling right. That's your conscience saying, hey, you know what? Maybe you shouldn't be doing it. Maybe just like don't do it. Yeah. Now I have fun, with the cat toy. Like, the cat likes chasing it. But yeah. So really, to be able to to catch UFOs, have this camera out and just set it up and just put it. I'm just trying to think. Just get you some Velcro, right? And then just kind of put it up there like that. And then you just kind of set it up on your fence or just, on a fence post or somewhere like that. And you can just watch and just hit record. And then when you're done, watch the video. That's what I do. It's very simple. And they, now people ask me, okay, who are they? What are they? What do they do? I don't want to put anything into people's heads. I don't want to say, oh, I think they're from China. No, we don't want to do that. I don't say, oh, they're all ours. No, I don't want to say that. I just want to say that I catch videos of objects disappearing in the sky above my house, right up there, and they just disappear. And I've got a bunch of them that do that. And they also seem interested. They also they come when we ask them to come, but they keep their distance too.
And really quickly before you get on with that point, what I like about you is, I asked that question a little bit earlier about why you, how come you have these sightings, and you said, look, it's all about you just relax and it's your intent, right? Some of these people, I find that their intention is just to find something. And I think that whether it's, I don't care what the phenomena is, but if your intent, I think a lot of these cryptids, these people from outer space or ghosts, if they think that your intentions are like underhanded or just you want something just like you, I think they show themselves to people that are about the experience in a positive light, right?
That's exactly right. Yes, that is exactly right. And it's the same way with the ghost. Once we ask the ghost to start coming, and even Marty knows this, once we start asking the ghost to come, they start coming. Why? Because I got an open mic. Yeah. Just simple like that. It's because we're inviting them. It's an invitation. Would you like to come to my house? Here's where I live. I live in Mineral Bluff. And I've also been told this, that you also kind of need to give them a little bit of direction because, I don't know why you would think that they would know where you're at, but I just say, hey, I live here at blank, 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 Hickory Drive in Mineral Bluff. And anybody wants to come see me, that's fine. You're going to have to bring your truck to come up here. So it's not like people are just driving by and, saying hi and say, oh, that's where the UFO guy lives. No, it's, they come up here, yeah.
do you think with a lot of the encounters and experience you've had just on this topic right here for now,
Right.
do you think that and because you're open-minded and you don't present a threat to them, is what I'm gathering, do you think moving forward though this could turn into maybe you getting some sort of telepathy where maybe they've got a message for you to maybe to present to the human race, you think?
Not,
I know that's
not,
kind of a crazy
not that big. Yeah, not
I
that
know that
big.
was kind of wow, this is
Yeah, it's like, yeah, no, I don't,
he speaks
no,
for the aliens, but
yeah.
not quite that extreme.
No, I've gotten little messages like, I've gotten the message of you're taken care of, like, hey, everything's fine, you're taken care of, you're doing what you're supposed to do. We like the way you're doing it, and really, that's kind of the thing, with the government subcommittee pretty much saying that, yeah, UAPs are real, we need help with them. That's cool. Once they've already said the UAPs are real, that's fine. Then what are we going to do next? We know they're real. We got to figure out how to communicate with them. So now that we kind of know how to communicate, then we need to interact. And interact is where you're talking to them and you have to tune yourself in. And you have to work on those frequencies. You have to work on if you're moving around doing stuff all day, blah, 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 you're not going to hear that little thing talking to you saying, hey, we're up here. And so you just have to relax a little bit and just let it in. And now I will tell you about the triangle video that I saw. I did reach out and I don't know if I had told you about this or not, but I am going to be actually in a documentary. It's coming out later on this month. It's actually on Scareplex right now, just on your phone, but it's going to be on Tubi and coming up here before the end of the month. And it's called Encounters. And it's a movie by Bill Howard, and he did all these different episodes. So I'm on episode 3. It's an hour long. So if you want to see how I catch the UFOs and all of that, that's going to be the show to watch. So if you look up Encounters and my name, Les Durrant, Encounters, Les Durrant, you'll see my episode, a little portion of it, and then just keep an eye out on Tubi for that. And I'm really excited about that. I'm going to be in a press conference coming up here in October in Wilson, North Carolina, talking about that as well. And then let's see, I've done that. And then I also joined MUFON for a little bit and got my field investigator certificate. And because of my ADHD, I decided not to stick with it. But I wanted to find out, I wanted to find out what they look for. What are they looking for? Now, I've already, I would say, burned my bridges with them because I'm what they call a serial submitter. I've submitted so many now that they must think I'm a joke or something. I don't know. They even blocked my IP address.
On Facebook, they call you a spammer.
Yeah, a spammer. Yeah. Yeah. But I have proof that they did that. And, that's as far as I'll say on that. But I don't recommend people contact them. I recommend they contact the UFO Reporting Center or other options that are out there. If you look and it's not the organization. I think that it's some of the people that run it.
Yeah. Well, I personally, and this is just my own personal opinion, so people don't hate on me, but I think MUFON is kind of similar to the BFRO, in a different version,
Yeah.
And we all know about the BFRO sanitizing their reports if you have anything paranormal involved with.
Right. Yeah. It's like, we don't do paranormal. Ooh. Yeah. Well, I know all about that. Yeah. Because even MUFON in their I get their magazine too. And they talk about that, about paranormal and all that, not getting, and I have noticed that there is kind of a big difference as far as the kind of paranormal that we look at, as far as ghosts and UFOs. There's kind of a big thing there. Now, Bigfoot, Bigfoot. How about Bigfoot and UFOs? That would be my question to you, Rob. What do you think?
I think that I've gone through several reports, had many people on that. Yeah, I mean, first of all, I'm open to anything. I think Bigfoot is associated with all of these rabbit holes, right? Yes, it's not uncommon for
Mm-hmm.
Bigfoot to be sighted or UFO to be sighted, and they're within the same proximity. Or, because I know you talk a lot about orbs, or it's funny that there's orbs in the forest, and all of a sudden, a minute later, you see a Bigfoot, or vice versa. So,
Yes.
I think everything is connected.
Yeah. And also, since you do cryptids too, what color are the eyes of most cryptids?
From reports I've gotten, yellow, there's some red.
Red, right? Mostly red, though, right?
Mhm.
Skinwalkers, red eyes, right?
Yeah.
Mostly. Are you so if the skinwalker's red eyes, Bigfoot, sometimes they'll have red eyes, or eye shine. We'll
Yep.
call it eye shine. And then cryptids too. Uh, they all kind of seem like they come from the same place. Now, I asked people. I said, if you come to Earth and you want to look like us, what would you do to look like us, right? Well, have you ever heard that Bigfoot also hangs out in cemeteries?
I have.
Okay.
I've heard it all. I've heard it
Okay.
all.
So that would be a good place to get a dead body to look like. Now, sometimes they look like they not Bigfoot, but sometimes the cryptids will also have like a wolf body too. That's easy. That's easy to get because all they do is they just got to go kill it, and there you go. You got half a wolf body, and the rest is a body.
Yeah, well, you got the dogmen, then you've got the I think the skinwalker, and there's these grave
Tons.
robbers, which are a form of cryptid.
Yeah, and a lot of these, and if you think about it, a lot of those cryptid. Think about those cryptids and how close they look to aliens of some kinds. If you look, some of them also will look like the mantises. They look like the mantises. Some of them will have like, just weird looking, feet, hands, and all of that. That could be a possibility.
Hey, let me ask you, since you're on the subject, really quick about the
Yes.
not to cut you off. Have you ever, with all your your sightings and your research with the UFOs, have you ever think or perhaps known that you've seen an actual alien?
Yes.
Mm.
Yes. Yeah. The one there's one that people say, oh, that's a Chinese lantern. No, it's not a Chinese lantern when it's 5 miles away. It's a square one, and it looks like there's a little window in there. And if you look at the little window, it looks like that there's a little alien in there. Or I'm not going to just say that. That's not the correct way. I would say that it's that there's an entity or an occupant in it. And if I had a way to show you the picture, I would show you a picture of that. But you can probably, if you watch on YouTube, even watch the slower version of it, you'll be able to see that yes, it looks like that there is something in there. And yeah, it's pretty cool. Now, is it scary? No, it's not scary. It's just something that we already know about it. And but when you go back and look at it, it looks very convincing. It looks like there is really something going on. And that one is the closest object that I have. And then the rest of them are, just within the general vicinity. But yes, yeah, that if that answers your question, by all means. Yeah, I would like for people to be able to even if anybody wants to examine any of my videos, that's fine. I've got people who've done that before, and I've got a friend of mine who ran my 30-minute video through an AI supercomputer and took up half the day to do, but he did it, and it's just amazing. I can see all kinds of stuff.
Hey, let me ask you this, since you have a lot of these great encounters, these great sightings. I got to ask you something I always wondered about.
Yes.
Have you ever caught anything? And again, it's many thousands of miles away about the moon. I don't know if you have any big high zoom lens telescopes or camera equipment. What's your thoughts on the moon being a station, though?
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
obviously,
It is. Yeah,
like
it is. Yeah, the other side of the moon. The other side of the moon is a station, and on Mars we also have a base.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I've also heard of people having claims that they see them come in and out of the Big Dipper.
Yes. Yes. I was going to tell you. Woohoo! Okay. I was just going to tell you. I did turn the laser onto the Big Dipper.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. And I've gotten stuff that way too. And I've had a lot of people say that there's a lot of them that just kind of hang out up there. But yes, good question. And yeah, definitely. There's a lot. Have you ever heard of Space Command? If
I've heard of it, yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure what it is exactly.
Yeah. So go if you get a chance, just go to Google and type in US Space Command. That's CSPACECOMMAND. It's military, yeah. US Space Command.mil. Or actually, here we go. https://www.spacecom.mil. Space Command. Now it makes you wonder. You got to build the base first, right? Before you have a base, before you get stuff there. So Space Command, come on now. Yeah, right. See, Space Command. Have you ever heard of super soldiers?
Well, of course. Yes.
Super soldiers. All right. Well, guess what? They got to have a place to go. How quick is it? Yeah,
with the super soldiers and their underground bases, of which
underground too. Yes,
we have our ABC agencies working on those for whatever. And there's many theories behind that, which I have to, of course, support. Yeah. So, definitely the moon and Mars, and so they're not millions and millions of miles away. They're local. Yeah,
they're quite local, and just from seeing how fast they can move, they're also interdimensional. So they can go wherever they want to go. That's not a problem. I mean, I've got more. I've got a video with at least 5 that just disappear into the ether, just very, very easy. Now in the same spot too, and I think it just happens about that time of the day where they do that. But yes, yeah, I've heard a lot of people talk about that.
I often wonder if the moon's even hollow.
That I don't know. I haven't heard anything regarding that. I wouldn't put it past them, but yeah. And if you look, there's been stuff that's happened up there on the moon as well too. That I think who was it? Was it a Russian? Was it a Russian or a space deal that crashed up there? I think, or it was one of the countries that recently and their craft crashed. I wonder why. Just like, do y'all ever watch Skinwalker Ranch?
Yes.
See that stuff blow up before it goes up there? Easy. Right. Yeah. Yep. That's what it's all about. They've got they've got force fields.
Yeah. And every time they launch a rocket, if you watch that show, guess what always 98, 98% of the time shows up? That's
right.
I'm talking. There's something not of this world that shows up.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yep. Just like that. That's how fast they come. That's why I think that with the telepathy and all of that, I think they know ahead of time. I don't know. It's one of those things. It's like, you ever say, "Oh, I was just thinking about you." Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, they knew that we wanted them to come. And sometimes if I go out there to go out with the dog, take the dog out, I'll say, "Hey, can you guys show up?" Just kind of give them a little ahead of time. "Hey, can you show me yourselves?" because in the daytime they don't show up as much. But yes, they yeah.
I think they're pretty common, and
Yeah,
probably more what we're looking for. They would be amazed by walking out and looking up at the sky.
yes. That's why 10 seconds a day. Come on, anybody can do that. And if you can just go out there and do that, just look up and then at night, oh my gosh, if you've got some stars. Now, granted, we live in the part of Georgia that is the darkest part of the state, so you can actually see beautiful. There is no light pollution up here whatsoever. It's completely dark. And so you can see all kinds of cool stuff. But if you live in the city, there's times where you can still see the sky. It's not a big deal. You can get out there and still do that and just ask for them to come by. But don't just say, hey, come, and then down here like this, looking at your phone. No. And when you ask, like, say, hey, and you can be out there with a drink or something like that, just hanging out and just relaxing and enjoying life and getting a little bit of fresh air, or wherever you're at, getting that kind of air. But at least you're just outside and just enjoying life. So yeah.
Absolutely. I think that's a good place to take our 5-minute break, because we're getting close to that, and I think it's a good segue in the second half. And we got Les Durrant, and the name of for those people, what's the name of your channel? And I know it's posted in YouTube already, bud.
Yes, Objects and Orbs.
It is Objects and Orbs, and we have another link that I'm going to put in there as well. Lily's doing a great job with it as well. We'll be back with Les Durrant, Objects and Orbs, in 5.
All right.
Four minutes to go, folks. 4 minutes. Three minutes. We're almost there. Two-minute warning, guys. 2-minute warning. 1 minute. 1 minute.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Brunch with Bigfoot, Mr. Rob. Fantastic show. Les Durrant is joining us, talking about his experiences with UFOs, orbs, and the other things. We're going to maybe change gears here in a little bit. Thanks for everybody for joining us. And thank you for those of you that have, of course, purchased my book, Bigfoot, Michigan Rob presents True Cryptid Encounters, Book 1. It is available on Amazon. I do thank each and every single one of you for going ahead, and I do appreciate that. Thank you also to Cynthia for the amazing super chat. The super chat's a great way to support what we do around here. Thank you, Cynthia, for that. And of course, I do thank my great guest Les, and of course, my lovely KRISTA, waiting back in Studio B. Mondays, of course, is Texas Front Porch. You can find Tex 9 o'clock in the East with Brandy. Tuesday, Van Buren Variety, 8 o'clock in the East. Beyond BMR, 9 o'clock in the East on Tuesday as well. On Wednesdays, Jason McLean Questions Everything is back doing his live show, 8 o'clock in the East, followed up by the Diva Dimension, Danielle Diva, 9 in the East. Thursday, Brunch with Bigfoot, Michigan Rob, 1 o'clock in the East. The Blondes, the Booze, the Paranormal Podcast, 9 o'clock in the East as well on Thursday. And if you need a little more woo mixed in with the booze, you can catch them Friday as well, 9 in the East. Saturday, Tex and Miss Diva, they do a true crime show at 3 in the East called Infamous Minds. Check them out. Please do. Great show for into true crime. I always have to mention Jessica Jones, my buddy, Space Style Radio, Friday, Saturday and Sunday, 10 in the East. Of course, she's the Cryptid Huntress, and you can find her also. She has a couple live shows during the week as well. KRISTA, what's going on?
You know, I heard you mention everybody, and I just learned this week that Donnie Cho is now part of us, so I think that's awesome.
Well, Donnie Cho, you can find him with Jason McLean Questions Everything. And Donnie Cho, he was down at the Dogman Conference, which of course I didn't make, but Donnie's a great guy. He's got a great channel.
Yes.
Donnie Cho
says stuff.
It's very entertaining. I was on it. Tex has been on it. Jason has been on it. And Donnie, that's a cool laid back show. It's really a fun show. And Donnie,
he's got a funny show. He really does.
He puts a good, entertaining show on, and if you want to break from just like the paranormal, Donnie has a great spin on what he does, and so shout out to Donnie, to Donnie. So thanks for bringing that up, KRISTA.
Yeah, well, this was new to me. I didn't know this.
Yeah, well, I didn't know that, and I'm the last to learn everything.
Right, me too. I'm with you.
The porch crew ever expanding. Thanks for everybody for coming in. I'm bringing up Les. Fantastic show, Les. Hey, Les, man.
What's up?
Thank you for coming on, man. Thank you for coming.
You're very welcome. Anytime. I'm very thankful for your viewers and listeners. And I just have a good time doing this. It's I think we were talking earlier about it's kind of a treasure is what it is, because you don't know what you're going to get. And it's just a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun, and I'm glad that we have a nice variety. This show here has evolved from not just Bigfoot. We talk, I have two shows now, this one and a night show. And, I've been doing this for 5 years. I've been doing the podcast for 2 years. And, I was just first a Bigfoot guy, and that was it, right? Because I had a Bigfoot
Mhm.
encounter back in 2018. And I decided, man, after, let me tell you something, though. I'll tell you my story some other time, not today, because it's too long. It had me really wondering about what's going on in the world. And my encounter was kind of traumatic. And
Right.
that's really the reason why I do this today, and I
Mhm.
enjoy it. But also, like I say, I enjoy coming across guests like yourself,
Thank you.
guests that have different perspectives, theories.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
now I'm much more than just a Bigfoot guy. I'm into the UFOs. KRISTA and Brandy, now they're part of the team Paranormal. And the
Mhm.
girls are now learning about cryptids, right? So our
Yeah.
team that has been put together with all the shows that I just mentioned, we all have a skill set. We all have different experiences. So that's what makes our shows work, and they're very entertaining. And we're open to everybody in what they have to offer. Nobody that comes
Awesome.
on this show will be ridiculed, no matter how ridiculous something might sound, because you know what?
Right.
We never walked in anyone's shoes, Les. And
Absolutely.
that's what I love most about this community as well. The people in our
Mhm.
chat and our listening audience, they're
Right.
open-minded. They don't place judgment on people. That's
Right.
why I always say, along with Jason, we have the best
We do.
people that
We do.
watch us.
Mhm.
We really do. So I do love
Absolutely.
everybody in chat and everybody that listens, because without you, this would just be boring, just talking to ourselves, wouldn't it, Krista?
Yep,
And
that's right.
there's people out in our chat and friends that we've made along the way,
Yeah.
that do have different views than you and I. However, we're still friends at the end of the day.
Yeah,
And that's
it's
what
great
Yeah.
to have the arguments. It's great to have constructive
Sure.
criticism,
Yeah.
because if you can't take it, then if you can't take the heat, get out of the kitchen,
Right.
right?
That's right.
Right. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because it's a learning experience, and I've learned a lot from you today already, Les.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate it.
And
Yeah.
and we're going to change the topics just a little bit. Thank you for the first half of the show, because
I have to tell you,
will-
the first half of the show flew by.
it's
I
one of
looked
the
up and it was
fastest.
like
It's one of the
at the
fastest.
50-minute mark. I'm like, holy
It's
cow.
the fastest 52 minutes, Les.
Yeah.
I commend you for that. And the people
Oh,
in
you're
chat are
welcome.
loving it. They're loving you. And I'm
Oh,
sure
thank you.
that you'll pick up some new subscribers once the show
Yeah, I appreciate it.
ended. So, as I mentioned, I've had a lot of paranormal experiences, and Brandy and Krista and Brandy, they're paranormal, and I think, and they love it, and they're ghost hunters themselves. So, Les,
Yes.
you're into ghosts as well. I don't know if you're
Yeah.
a ghost hunter, but you've had a lot
Yes.
of experiences with ghosts, and this is really Chris's wheelhouse. And I'm
Yeah.
learning, of course. Why don't you walk us through some of that? What got you involved with all of this?
Ooh, okay. Well, basically, it was kind of like the same thing. We had, my wife had passed away, and we wanted to kind of get into getting some of the equipment that they use on some of the ghost shows, and with the pandemic, we were stuck in the house. We watched a lot of TV and put a lot of puzzles together and saw a lot of things. So we said, you know what? I would love to get a REM pod. I'd love to get a K2 meter. I would love to get a tri-field meter, and I'd love to get all these other things. So, yeah. In fact, I'm going to run over here just real quick. Oh, yeah. This right here is one of my favorite pieces of equipment. It's my tri-field meter. Now, this right here is good for people who have implants. It's also good for just to kind of, you can watch this going by as the equipment is going off too.
Hang on really quickly, though. I know we're going to talk about ghosts, but you mentioned implants. You talk about alien implants?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because a lot of times they'll put them in your leg or, in your foot or something like that too. And what this does is it measures RF radio frequency coming out. And I'm trying to see if I can maybe get it to, there we go. So that's the RF there. And see, then these numbers, I put it over here. See, it's going up.
I wish Donnie was in chat right now.
So, yeah, this right here is one of my favorite pieces of equipment. And then the rest are the apps that I use. And a lot of people give me flack until they actually see the apps in in play. And so there's only a few apps that I recommend. And once again, I'm not here to sell anything or anything like that, but I use one called Spirit Talker. Spirit Talker, you can get online on the App Store or on Google Play. There's just a little fee for it, but you don't have to pay a monthly fee, and it's not loaded with a dictionary. None of that stuff. It's all what you get is what you see. What I do with it, I put it in airplane mode. Also, all these phones that you, and for your listeners, I actually have 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got five cameras set up, and they're or phones, you know, and they all do different things. The good thing about having these old phones is that if you can get on Wi-Fi, then you can still use your apps. And if you have a family plan on Google Drive or on Google Play, you can use the same apps on all the different pieces of equipment that you have. So now what I'm going to do is we're going to do a quick little ghost hunt. Can we do that? Is that cool?
Sure. Let's do it.
Yeah. Very first on Brunch with Bigfoot, Mr. Rob, a live ghost hunt. Let's do it.
Yeah, you want to do a live ghost hunt? All right, let's do it. All right. So here's what I do. I've got 3 spirit talkers up here right now. The reason why I've got 3 is I call it an overabundance of evidence.
Okay.
All right, there we go. They're not turned on right now. This one over here is a spirit music box, and I'll tell you about that in a moment. This over here is a necrometer. The necrometer, you've probably heard of like a necrometer, or you'll be able to hear it. It's kind of hard to understand. I don't use it as much, but it did say my name the other day on on one of the podcasts I did. My last name. Yeah. Okay. Then I also have a REM pod, and this is pretty common. This is you use this for EMF, or actually for proximity. Okay. I'm gonna turn this on right now, and then I'm just put this right here. I want to make sure you can still see it. There we go.
Yeah, we can see it.
Now these don't come cheap. They're a couple $100 each, but they're well worth it, right? And you can also turn up the sensitivity. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on the spirit talkers. But before I do, I'm going to tell you a little bit about what you might hear. Okay. So once again, we live about 1,900 feet up on a mountain, surrounded by trees, by pine trees. This is the area of the Trail of Tears from the Native Americans. This is where they had marched from this area into Oklahoma and all of that. So the Cherokee National Forest is just like a few miles from where I live. About a mile from here is a Native American stone circle, and up here on the mountain, there was people who lived around this area, settlers. It wasn't like a civil war or anything like that, but it was just people settling in the area. I think that they had a skirmish with the Cherokee. So you're going to hear something that says settlement. You might hear settlement. You may hear we died here. You may hear forest. You may hear, now, of course, if you look, you can maybe see the trees behind me. You may hear caves. Caves have to do with the Burra Burra copper mines, where they did copper mining and all of that around here. You will also hear she killed me or jail, that kind of thing. So it's up here on the mountain. Then if we get any Native Americans or Cherokee, sometimes it gets a little bit more subdued, a little quieter sometimes too. Now, some of the ghosts that you may hear, the very famous one that we have is, and Marty knows this, is Florence. Florence is my wife's grandmother, and from Idaho. She has followed her, and she shows up all the time. I mean, all the time. I have a video of her showing up in all these different investigations that I do. So I made a compilation video of it. And so I think it's kind of cool. So if you look at, we love Florence. Yeah, Chiro says, yeah, yay, Florence. All right. So she shows up quite often. We also have Gary and his wife, Edith. Gary Williams was, he actually worked in the Burra copper mines. we got his name one day because we were looking for, we were actually going to go down to Helen, Georgia. And it was about a year ago. It was for our anniversary. And I told my wife, I said, hey, you got your debit cards and let's go. And she said, I can't find my debit cards. I'm like, okay. All right. I said, and she got to the point where she was crying. I mean, she was just crying because she couldn't find them. And then I said, well, you know what, hon, why don't you transfer your money to my card? We'll just use my card. Go looking into my wallet. Guess what? My card is gone. And I'm not kidding. My card is gone. Okay, so now we're really freaking. So she said, okay, hon, get out the Spirit Talker and start asking. So we got out the Spirit Talker. We asked, and then first it said, I like talking to you. I said, okay. And then it said stress. Oh, definitely, we were stressed. And then it said money. Oh, yeah, we were definitely stressed over money. And then it said, what's your name? And I said, well, my name is Les. I said, what's your name? And it said Williams. I said, all right. And I said, what's your first name? And it said Gary. So I looked up Gary Williams. Okay. He is from this little town of Mineral Bluff, Georgia, of 500 people. He is from here. So him and his wife show up all the time, Edith. What he likes to do, he likes to ring our chimes out there on the deck. And you can kind of see through here. If you're watching on here, you can kind of see we have a little deck out there. I'm on the second floor. And he comes quite often. So you may hear Gary, you may hear Edith. Edith actually showed up yesterday on one of my shows. So now I'm going to turn all this stuff on. All right. So these are just a few things I wanted to tell you before I turn anything on. So then that way, All right.
I'm glad you did, because I was going to ask you that anyways.
I want to make sure that Now, here's the other thing. If we happen to get what I call a bingo, like if Florence shows up or something like that, then that's a bingo. That's you get your card, your bingo card. Okay, This is how confident I am of this. Get your bingo card, and then once you get a BINGO, then you let me know and you just say, hey, bingo, and you're good to go. Now, if we get Florence, then that's an automatic bingo. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on this Spirit Talker. I do have a mixer hooked up so you can hear them. Okay. Start. Okay. Now I'm also going to turn on the Spirit Music Box. The Spirit Music Box works by
Whoa.
Evening. It said evening. Oh, hello. Good evening to you. All right. I'm going to turn on the Spirit Music Box. And it goes off by proximity, light, or movement. So it's loading up right now. This is how it works. Just Nicholas. Like that. Nicholas is here. Hello, Nicholas. Nice to meet you. Is there anybody else here? See, they just come out just like this.
Ethel.
Oh, Ethel. Hello. Yours. Ethel's over here on this one. Nice to meet you. So we have Ethel. Oh, that one just said yours. So
Bernadette.
Bernadette. Oh, Bernadette's been here before too. Yeah. Hello, Bernadette. So we got Bernadette.
Problem.
What kind of problem? Oh, now on all of these, they all have a folder, so it keeps what it says. All right. Well, good. So where are you from?
Bad entities here.
No, we can't have any bad.
Healthy.
Bad entities here. Help me. I heard that.
I did hear that.
Okay, so if it ever says bad entities, we say, hey, look, we don't allow any of that here. Now if it ever says like get out of here or we live here or something like that, you just say, look, we live here too. We have to share the place. Yeah. Oh, that one just said his. Okay. If it also says devil, or if it says witchcraft or anything like that, just say, no, this equipment has been invented so we can talk to you. All right. Where are you from? Sure to get quiet, didn't it? Oh,
child.
Look at that. It just went off. Child. Oh, a child. Oh, get KRISTA. Do kids like to play? Do the kid ghosts like to play with your equipment?
So I have different beliefs about children's spirits.
I know demons.
Because a demonic entity will look to be invited in. If you have one-on-one time and you're embracing this child ghost, that's your invitation. So I feel like when a child dies, there's somebody always on the other side. If not, it's Jesus or whoever to help them over. So that's just my personal opinions on children ghosts.
No, you're good. Yeah, no, children ghosts, a lot of times they can manifest as demons.
Face.
Yeah, so and they like to play. They like to play. They will mess with your equipment. So there's been times where they'll
Many soldiers here.
Oh, many soldiers here.
Roberts.
Oh, Roberts. Okay, that's 2 last names I got. Let's see. I got Roberts and Thompson on the same one. So what you do is you just take those names that we got, put them down. If I put Bernadette Rogers and then type in Georgia, and if it's anywhere near here and it's anywhere about that time, and is there any reason for that to go off? Actually, I'm going to move it over here so you can see it. Okay. Sorry, that's a little loud.
Anxiety.
Ooh, anxiety. Okay. All right. Yes, there we can kind of see that just a little bit. Let me scoot over here a little bit there like that. Okay. Now we can see it. All right. Who else is still here with me? Can you do that one more time?
Dogman UK Man asked if you could ask them what they want.
Oh, yes, they do talk to Dogman. Dogman wants to know what you want. Do you have any messages for him? We sure did get quiet, didn't it? Is there any Cherokee here?
Intelligent.
Ooh, okay. All righty.
So these spirits are right in your area where you're talking.
Yeah, they're just hanging out. Yeah, they're just walking through. It's basically all it is. Now I am gonna turn on the necrometer. The necrometers can be sometimes hard to understand, but we'll see. Yeah, see what I mean? It's like, but there's been times where you can understand exactly
Edith.
Oh, whoa. Edith. Guess who showed up? Edith. Gary's wife. Edith. Right there. Right the heck there. So that's kind of a bingo.
The attic.
Oh, the attic. Well, we don't really have an attic because that's where our bedroom is. We live in a
Perks.
Skulls.
Did that say perks or hurts? I don't know.
Hear us.
I do hear you. Yes, so Edith is Gary's wife. Nice to meet you. Good to see you again, Edith. I hadn't seen and Edith has been kind of showing up a little bit. Seth. Now, see, how does Seth come up? Right? I mean, how does that just come up? Is there anybody here from the settlement?
You rap me though.
You're something. I couldn't make it out.
That's why I like having other people listen, because sometimes what I hear and what y'all hear.
Window.
Did they just say window?
It did.
Oh, yes, window. Oh, yeah. Yeah, over there and over here. Sometimes we'll get mirror as well, but windows. Definitely.
Brick wall or atto.
My stomach.
Don't worry about your stomach. If you ever get stuff like that too. Oh, a bed. Yes. The bed is right here. Now,
Joan.
Joan. Hello, Joan. We're getting a lot of names. Hello, Joan. Nice to meet you. How old are you?
So let me ask you, Les.
Yes.
So you have all these names popping up in these little statements. How do we know though that really this is actual spirits? Because it seems hard. I mean, I know we can buy this equipment at places, and how do you know if you're buying something that's just gimmicky or it's actual the true thing?
Well,
unity.
Ooh. The thing with these is it's all about trying it out first. I've had so many people say,
Nora.
"Oh, you know what? I got the spirit."
Jack Visted.
Oh, Jack. That did sound like Jack.
Alice.
Yeah, we have a really good friend named Jack, who passed away. Yeah.
And the reason I asked the question is not because
No. Let me go.
There'll be people that say, "Well, come on, this."
They're loaded,
right?
or yeah, they're loaded. Now when you get Spirit Talker, here's what I'm telling you. It's like $4 if you get it on Google Play, and I think that you can actually use it for however long before you get a refund. But I'm going to tell you probably won't want a refund, because when you start talking to it, it's going to start talking back to you. I've had so many. The thing is I've had so many in the positive of Florence showing up, Gary and his wife Edith showing up, my name, I've got actually on this one video, I have my first name and my last name on the necrometer back here. And so that right there alone too sells the app. Now there are some that you have to pay for every month and you have to subscribe to, and what they do is they load up the dictionary. That's why I don't have any. I put these in airplane mode and just let them, and I leave them on all the time. So now are all these people here? Who knows? But for them to activate the equipment all at different times, you would think that they would all go off at the same time. Every minute or every 2 minutes, all three of them would all go off, but they're not. This one over here goes off occasionally. Then that one over there will go off. The REM pod will go off. And so I tell people just the thing about this is just to purchase it, see what you think. If you don't like it, get your money back. It's just that easy. Yeah. Now, and then also too, with this, look it up. You do not have to use a dictionary. It does not come with a dictionary like some do. Now, if you look in there,
yeah,
does that make sense?
It makes sense to me. I was just asking because a lot of people out there, they just wonder about all this equipment. Now I know the equipment exists because I know Krista and Brandy use it, and I get it. But there's a lot of people that would say, man, like you said, it's preloaded and things like that. Now, I'm not as skeptical with it, and I'm not saying that this is
no.
It is. It's just for people are going to say, hey, you know what? That guy's full of bunk, right? And I'm not saying that. I'm saying that people just wonder about these things. Yes. And I'll tell you what, 10 years ago, I would not have believed in it until I met the right people, right?
Yes. Yeah. Somebody had asked about if there's a link to the apps. I would have to be able to grab that and lay that in there. But if you just type it, if you just look up Spirit Talker, and Necrometer is made by the same people who do Spirit Talker too. And also this people who do Spirit Talker also do the Spirit Music Box. So I've seen them on on YouTube on this channel called my mind just went blank. Twin Paranormal. These guys are some of the best hunters out there, and this is where that I saw these apps being used. And the links under my videos. No, I don't have any links under on those. Freaky Geek was asking about the links under my videos. But now, if anybody wants to, they can always email me objectsandorbs@gmail.com. Very simple. I would love to be able to give out the information to that. Yeah.
Hey, let me ask you, when you had your first encounter with a spirit or a ghost pre-equipment,
yep,
what was that like? I'm certainly must have had one.
Yeah, I was actually, this is back in the early 80s. I was at my dad's car lot in Texas, and there were some old trailers that were behind it. And I figured, okay, I'll just go out there and kind of mess around and see what I can find. And I honestly thought that I felt something behind me, like that was like watching me. So I got the heck out of there. And but other than that, not really. Now my dad, he has talked to his mom who passed away. He's talked to his brother who's passed away, and a lot. And this even happened overseas too. It's happened a few times, and they, yeah, they're always showing up. Yeah, yeah, and so it's one of those things where if the I'm kind of going round and round on this because you have to relax. You just have to relax when you do this. Just let them in and just talk to them. Say, hey, Dad, I really miss you. And, something like that will go off. Or Mom, Mom, I really miss you. I want to talk to you. And it's how you feel. It's really how you feel. If you're uptight, then it's not going to go very far. And also, if they know that you're scared, they're going to mess with you. And Krista, I think you probably know that too. If they know that that you're scared of them, they'll mess with you. So,
yep.
So Chiro wanted me to share about my stepdaughter's father talking to her. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Let me stop this music box so it doesn't interrupt. Okay. Here's the thing. Her dad, she is a Native American Navajo, and her dad passed away about 7 years ago. And it was at this time that him and my wife were kind of going through a divorce, and my daughter was kind of young, and so she didn't realize that it was actually because of other things that were going on in the marriage and all of that too. And so I turned on the necrometer, and we were talking, and we thought we'd heard this name of Chief, and said, hey, this is Chief. And we're like, okay, who's Chief? And then my wife's like, well, my stepdaughter's grandfather always went by Chief. Okay. So then we kept hearing these words that sounded Navajo. Like, all right. So we brought my stepdaughter up, and she said, Grandpa, is this you? And it said yes. And then she said, is my dad there? And he said yes. And she's like, okay, Dad, if this is really you, can you say my nickname that you gave me when I was young? And it did say Nejone, which is beautiful in Navajo. Mm-hmm. Just like that. It just said Nejone. And then we said, okay, Marv, we really appreciate you. And he was asking her about going to school because she's starting cosmetology. And he's like, stay in school, do all this. And then he had said, well, what are you taking? And my wife said, cosmetology. And he's like, shut up, be out, And yeah. And then I was like, oh, well, we appreciate you here. And to me, he said, don't talk to me like blah, 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 blank, blank. Yeah. So, when you have the ghost kind of rip you a new one, it's not good. But he pretty much, she was in tears. She was in tears because she knew that was her dad. And that is golden. That's when you know that the app works. When it makes somebody cry to you, when you talk to them for about half an hour and you can talk in a conversation, that's when it's, totally worth it. And, with that too, it sometimes it's hard to understand, but other times it's perfect. And if you can imagine, like, let's say you're a ghost and you're trying to figure out one of these things, and you're like, okay, how do I get this to say the words that I want? You're not going to get it the very first time. You might not even get it the third time, but once you get it, then you're like, hey, that sounds like they just said my name, or they just sounded like this or sounded like that. And so I just tell people that, look, I'm not trying to sell these apps. If you want to buy one, fine, try it out, see what you think. If it doesn't work for you, fine too. If it does, then great. then try it out and see what you think. What I offer, I just offer a way of like, if they ever say certain words you don't understand, or if they talk a certain way, if they say, hey, this is witchcraft. No, it's not witchcraft. But to me, it would look like witchcraft if I didn't know that these things were invented. I would think that, oh yeah, this is some kind of magic. But you just say, no, this is the year 2023. It's been invented so we can talk to you. And it's just like that.
Absolutely. And, and I am an advocate for people using all sorts of equipment in the field, whether it's UFOs, ghosts, cryptids, because, we all need our tools to help us.
We do.
And this show, man, I tell you what, I really enjoyed this show. I know KRISTA did. I know everybody in chat did. Well, we've come up to our 90 minutes, and all your links will be in my YouTube channel. They've been posted throughout the show by my great moderators. But from your mouth, where can we find you, and where can we go? Go look.
Yes. So go to Objects and Orbs on YouTube. And then also on Facebook, I've got a group called Objects and Orbs, and we're just a bunch of kind of geeky people on there that kind of do what I'm doing. And, we don't get into any arguments or anything like that. No conspiracy, none of that stuff. It's all about the equipment, and it's all about, hey, this is what I caught tonight with my phone. Let's see what it looks like. And so you could do that. I do have a page on Facebook, but I don't use that. But I do use my Facebook group, which is Objects and Orbs. You can always email me, objectsandorbs@gmail.com. And then you can also keep an eye out for, if you type in encounters with my name, Les Durrant, on YouTube, then that'll kind of give you an idea of the movie that I'm going to be in. And I've already seen it. It looks great. And I recommend that check it out on Tubi. That's probably going to be the easiest way to do that, especially if you have Roku or on any of the apps. And then
and what's it called again?
It's called Encounters.
Encounters. Okay.
Encounters.
And has it been released already, or is it upcoming?
No, it's been released. It's on Scareplex right now on the app. It's only on the phone, but the Tubi it's already gone through the quality assurance, and so it should be out within the next 45 days. And there's actually 2 seasons, so there's going to be quite a few.
Very cool.
Yeah,
that is very cool. I'm definitely going to check that out. Everybody, please look up Les and subscribe and follow Les. And with that, KRISTA, what do you have on the booze tonight?
We have Jesus Payan tonight.
Very nice. Gonzo, he makes his return. I think we've all had Gonzo on. He's a great interview.
He was awesome. We met him over the weekend. Oh my gosh, he is so much fun, and he is just a wealth of information. Also,
and again, I'm mad I wasn't at the conference. So many great people, but again, enough of my woes. KRISTA, we got to make the off air. We'll have to make that wager. My Lions against those Chiefs.
Yep.
It's Thursday night football. Hey, Les, it was a pleasure. Thanks to everybody.
Yeah, yes.
Came on in.
So much. Yeah, thank you so much, and I really appreciate it. And I just tell people, just really, all you got to do is just to look up this guy, count to 10, and then you're done. That's all I ask. Just 10 seconds. Come on now. And then if you now Rob or KRISTA, how many old cell phones do you have at your house just laying around? Just anything, right? Yeah. This is an old S7 right here, and shoot, I can get some pretty nice video with this, and also I can pick me up some pretty good ghosts with this too. Not bad for just a couple bucks, There you go. Yeah, and that's what I recommend. So yeah, well, thanks again for having me on. I really appreciate it, y'all.
I appreciate you taking the time out. Cynthia, thanks for your super chat, and everybody once again. On Amazon, Bigfoot, Mr. Rob presents True Cryptid Encounters. Book 1. It's live. It's on Amazon. I appreciate y'all. KRISTA and I love y'all. Thanks, Les. Thanks, and we'll see you. We'll check in and watch the booze tonight. But until then, BMR for KRISTA and Les. We're out.
Later.